Hello again, and welcome to another episode of 1001 by 1, where each week we take a film out of the book, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, discuss it, analyze it, and ultimately decide whether or not it should be in the book. My name is Adam St. John.
My name is Britt Reinhold Hobson.
And I am Joey Rogate.
And before we decide whether or not we are going to go see Bring Me the Horns of Wilmington's Cow, we are going to give you some recommends before we talk about the actual film we're discussing, which is Before Sunrise. We postponed recording, and we never have any real order with who goes when with these. So, Britt, let's go with you. What are you recommending this week?
You know, I was going to recommend something else last week, and then I lost power and we couldn't record. So, fun fact, we are recording this a week later than we anticipated, and life has happened since then. So, I decided to recommend something that I just genuinely got a kick out of. And I don't think everybody will enjoy this, but goddamn, it was made for me. And that is The Ugly Stepsister, which is currently on Shudder. It's a weird little body horror fairy tale that really gets going in the third act. Well, I wanted it to go a little bit farther with the gore. Let's be real. I wanted fountains of blood. It did make me squirm. I really enjoyed it. And it is a vibe with a capital V. I would even say it's got vibes with a capital V and a Z at the end.
90s vibes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. So if you have Shudder, or if you feel like you want to rent it, please do. It's a fun little fairy tale. So if you like that kind of stuff, I mean, people do get their feet sawed off. So it depends on what fun little fairy tale you're looking to. This is very much Grimm's fairy tales. So
it's worth watching for the third act.
Yes, I agree.
Because the first two acts I was pretty much but then the third act comes and it's very worth it.
I don't know, the nose really, I screamed out loud. I went, oh my God, when they did the nose thing. I was pretty happy with that.
See, I felt like they should have shown more. I felt like they copped out.
I think
I said fucking cowards during a body horror is what I said. Later on they shut me up, but I was
in the third act it comes full circle and you're like, whoa, I didn't need to see that. So The Ugly Stepsister.
Yeah, I was by myself. I was like, you tame dorks.
It's just like Joey on Twitter.
Exactly. I tried to start a fight today, but hey.
I wish you had, man. I found that one and it was the best. It was unhinged. I never send Joey messages to be like, I saw what you said on Twitter, but today I had to because it was genuinely the most unhinged thing I'd seen. And then Joey just called the guy out and it was hysterical. We can cut that, but I just had to say, I'm not stalking you, I promise, but I did see this and it was
you
glorious.
Didn't like it, so you didn't help it getting.
Oh God, I should have. Well, I didn't want to because I didn't want to be like, I'm just gonna like all your comments, friend, on Twitter. I'm fucking weird.
No, I think we keep this. I think people can listen to this and then try to hunt it down, which would be great.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
Cool. Okay. The Ugly Stepsister. Perfection. Joey, what are you recommending this week?
So I watched a lot of Linklater in this round, which was fun, and I'm going to recommend probably the Linklater I've seen the most. I would say pretty comfortably. Dazed and Confused. I fucking love that movie. It's great. If you listen to us, I feel like the chances are you've probably seen it. But this is for those who haven't. Go watch it because it is great.
It is.
Maybe Aaron will watch it because I definitely guarantee my sister hasn't seen it. So that's for you, Aaron. Yeah, I know.
Come on, Aaron. This is for you.
Dazed Confused is great. This will be, and when we kind of get into it, it'll be fun to talk about Linklater at large. I actually didn't. I'm saving my Linklater dive for Slacker, which I know we have coming up.
Split it.
And so I've got
between the two. I'm gonna get all of the Linklater done. So I saved the animations and one or two other ones for the back end because I want to do them all.
Yeah. So, but I have a Linklater recommend as well, and it's also one that I hadn't seen, which I feel like I should have seen it given when it came out and I was way more into watching movies. But I'm going to recommend, which is definitely a spiritual successor to this movie, which is Everybody Wants Some, which is basically just this, but instead of right at the end of high school, it's right at the start of college. And it's getting to, Linklater gets to bring in the baseball stuff from his past. Also, and I don't know this for certain, but this is really Glenn Powell at the beginning, like before we really knew who he was. And if you haven't seen Everybody Wants Some, he kind of fucking just owns that movie. But also I love that the baseball guy like starts to fall for the theater girl, and like both I don't know. It's really dorky, but like if you like Dazed and Confused, I'm sure you'll like this too. Dazed and Confused is better, but still I would recommend this because it's a fun movie, and you just kind of it's in the best way possible. It's a turn off your brain movie. Like I just kind of let it play, and I was like, this is a very pleasant watch. So there we go. 2 Linklaters. Everybody Wants Some and Dazed and Confused. And of course, the highly relevant to this conversation, The Ugly Stepsister. It's just wild.
I am consistent at not being consistent.
It's fantastic. I love it. Okay. So we are talking about Before Sunrise, directed by Richard Linklater, written by him and Kim Krazan. Let's be real. There's a cast, but I'm pretty much just going to say it's Ethan Hawke as Jesse and Julie Delpy as Celine. And that's who's in this movie.
Yep. That's it.
So this movie came out in 1995. I want to, before we kind of get into the thick of it and the lists and all the other stuff, had you two seen these movies before? Britt, that's a no. Okay, so
that's good. That's good radio, Britt.
Did you?
Yeah, no. I was just shaking my head. I wasn't sure if Adam was going to call on us individually because that happens sometimes. No, I'd never seen any of them. I'm going to be honest. I avoided them because they did not seem like something I would enjoy.
Okay.
I love a slice of life film. I don't like romance. I think it's very melodramatic and honestly usually makes me cringe. So I avoided them like the plague.
Okay. Well, let's cool. I like that. You played that well, because I still don't know how you feel about this movie. One more question though for you, Britt. Did you watch the 3 of them or just the one?
I watched 2 of them. I watched the first 2, Before Sunrise and Before Sunset. Did not get to Before Midnight. I almost called it Before Twilight. That's not what it's called. Before Midnight. I was
fighting vampires.
In 100% in. Please, can they sparkle? I just didn't have time. So
fair.
And actually, there is a reason for that, but I want to wait until we get into the conversation about it.
Sounds good. And Joey, what was your familiarity with these?
So I thought I had seen all of them, but I had not seen Before Midnight. So I really racked my brain here to get back to it. So what I think happened, I saw them Before Sunrise and Sunset after Sunset had come out.
Okay.
Like at home on DVD or whatever. But it's a different experience this time, because I even thought I saw, like, I must have at some point caught a part of it, because watching the whole thing, I definitely did not have seen the whole thing. So, listen, I'm ready to rank. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that soon. I came to this movie's late, but I'm gonna leave out my familiarity until we kind of get into it, because these movies have a really like they sit in my soul. And I should say, that's kind of a lie. They sit in the collective soul that exists between Melissa and myself. So like these are important films in the St. John household. There's 2 Linklater films in the book. Slacker, which we are covering later this season, and Boyhood, which I think maybe we don't have that real question for this episode, but there's a Linklater debate that will need to be had at the latest during the Slacker episode, because 2 films is fine, but I do think the question of what 2 films is a relevant conversation to have when it comes to him.
I also have opinions on that. Shocking. It's like,
we'll wait. We all have opinions. That's great.
I have no opinions whatsoever about anything. I just go with the flow.
You are such a liar. That's a lie, no, Britt.
I know. God. I'm so spicy. I have to have an opinion about everything.
Which is great. That's why we do this.
That's good.
Okay, so it was up for some stuff at the Berlin International Film Festival. It had a nomination for the Chicago Film Critics Association, and of course, it was nominated for Best Kiss at the MTV Movie Awards.
Thank God.
It did not win. I do not know what won. I didn't
Bullshit.
find it relevant to look that up. Do we think this film is in the National Film Registry?
I'm going to say yes.
So I'm going to refrain from answering because I know the answer. I accidentally looked it up and I was very upset because I like this gag.
It is not on the National Film Registry. Now I don't.
Three?
No. Well, no. I think. Well, no. I guess the second one could be. I don't think the newest one has been around long enough, or is it 10 years? Because if it's 10, it has.
Oh, right.
Well, here's the thing. So I was curious. What other films from 1995 were on the National Film Registry? Yeah. Now, it is not a big list. There are only 5 films from 1995 that are actively on it.
Is one Dead Man?
One is not Dead Man. Dead Man is not on the list. Now, 2 of them I feel like are kind like not in a bad way, but are very chalk picks. Apollo 13 and Toy Story are 2 of the films that are on the National Film Registry. Here are the 3 others. One called Mi Familia, which IMDb says is a man makes his way from Mexico to Los Angeles in the 1920s and gets married and raises a big family there. The movie follows the children until they get married and start their families in the 1960s. Really like big Mexican-American Latino cast in that. So it sounds good. Haven't seen it.
I want to watch
it. Exists. Sure.
Then there's another one called One Survivor Remembers, which it's a short documentary about a Holocaust survivor. It won Best Documentary Short. So I've never seen it, so I'm gonna leave my judgment. Here's one that I'm not sure this should be in the National Film Registry. The title of this film is called Scratch and Crow, an animated short film from Helen Hill, which documents the life cycle of a group of chickens. What?
Chickens are magical creatures. So
Helen Hill's on the board?
I stand beside this. Chickens forever, I guess.
That's a
I know
a big thumbs down.
They've done some things where like early, like, you know, like those 10-minute 1895 recordings where it's like historical or like Steamboat Willie or whatever. Like I understand, but like
the horse running.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe this chicken short is just insanely good. We don't know.
I fucking hope it is. I really do.
Have you seen it, Joey?
No, I'm assuming. Helen Hill is a bribist.
She had a lot of money.
I looked up what they lost Best Kiss to. Do you guys want to hear?
Oh my God, yes I do.
Lauren Holly and Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. Other nominees: Juliette Lewis and Woody Harrelson in Natural Born Killers. That romantic romp through town.
Oh my God!
Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves in Speed.
That's the winner.
How did that not win?
Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies. Speed is the winner.
Yeah.
We can have that debate a little later.
Fair. That's fair. Okay. Is this movie on the IMDb top 250?
I'm going to say yes.
I can't imagine that it would be. I really can't imagine that it would be on there. Just with how that list is. It's weird.
It is on the list.
Really?
It is at number 189. Between 2 other good films, but not necessarily. I mean, they're totally different. It's between 12 Years a Slave and The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Whoa, that is whiplash.
So that's tonally that's crazy. I will just say, so that it's out there, Before Sunrise is also on the list at 228, and Before Midnight sadly is not. Which I will just say I disagree with. We haven't been Brett, I just want you to know Joker is currently at 86 on the IMDb.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Did that go up then?
Still up there. It's been in that
88 last
80s. Yeah, it's around there. So we'll have to check previous notes and come back to it.
Maybe people have gone back to it after Joker or Folie à Deux and just like bumped it up because Folie à Deux was so bad that they're like, but Joker, it was great, right? And they're just trying to convince
I
themselves.
bet the guy I made fun of on Twitter today makes fake IMDb profiles to vote up for Joker.
100%. 100%. I would not want to be in an elevator with that man.
Do we have any critical thing that anybody found that they want to read?
You know what's funny? I looked through a lot, and all of like the interesting ones were all about Before Sunset. I couldn't find any that I really liked for Sunrise, or they were all together.
Well, and and it's crazy because we haven't done this in a while. And back in the day, Ian and I would kind of call it out when it happened. I don't know when this last happened. A perfect 100% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Incredible.
So just a well-beloved film. That will lead me quite nicely into the next thing, which is the question of, do you like lists?
No.
Obviously.
I still don't.
Liar.
I like that you kind of Umbrellas of Cherbourg sung that just then.
Yes,
I appreciate that. But we're gonna do a list anyway.
Well, I just got cast in a show, so I got to start
hey,
singing again.
Fantastic. We're gonna be acting our asses off this summer. That's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, we will.
I got to start applying.
You should.
Yes, you should audition. You should, Joey. I think you'd kill it. Like, I think you would be so much fun to watch on stage. So
I feel left out. You guys are doing these big things.
Okay, so I looked up some lists. I'm going to tell you the lists I passed on. I looked up like an best Ethan Hawke performances list. But there were 2 or 3 on there that I were like either no or what's this, so I didn't like that list. I had a 10 films set in Vienna list that I really should have done. Like I really liked it. But
that's actually, I would enjoy that list.
Well, I don't have it anymore, which I feel bad about.
Rude.
But instead, I went with using whatever fucking metrics they do, the 10 best films of 1995 based on Rotten Tomatoes metrics.
Nice.
But I picked that too because we're kind of in our 95 section.
We are.
So I wanted to read those. So number 10, a movie I have not seen by a director who I've only seen one film of, and it was a hard movie to watch. So number 10 is Welcome to the Dollhouse, a Todd Solondz film. Britt, you had a visceral reaction to that. Care to share anything about that movie?
Okay, so I really like that director, but I can only watch his movies once, and I would never recommend them to anybody in the world. Like, they're not even on movies that I enjoy that I can't recommend because I can't enjoy his films. But I think they're really good. And Welcome to Dollhouse is really good, but it also is one of the, I have never been more uncomfortable in a film, I think.
Well,
Happiness.
I would say Happiness is,
Happiness.
I was actually about to say, wait, he did Happiness.
He did Happiness. So yeah, that one. Just his whole everything he has done. His vibe is just discomfort.
It's about bullying, right, or something.
It's about a young woman, a young girl who's becoming a teenager.
Yeah,
I think is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Yep. Well, let's go to number 9, which is a movie that I know that Joey hasn't seen. I haven't seen, but I think Britt will be happy to hear this movie on the list. Number 9 is Ghost in the Shell.
I am.
There you go. A completely different
Scarlett
reaction
Johansson.
from.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
How
boy.
fucking dare you?
Oh boy.
Made a good, the good remake, the rare good remake. I never saw the Scarlett Johansson one either.
Oh, thank God. I was like, oh.
Joey, so I had this thought process earlier today because I was listening to Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy and Richard Linklater chat, and and they were talking about, especially when it came to Julie Delpy, that like if something didn't work, she didn't like hem and haw about it, right? She would just kind of say like, I don't think this works. And I was thinking about like how far we've come as the three of us, like, and again, you two know what I'm about to talk about, but there was a chunk of the Mad Max Fury Road episode that never made it to air. And I cut the clip together and shared it because I was like, gang, if we could get through this,
right,
then we
can get through anything.
That's true.
So Joey trolling Brett on the Ghost in the Shell remake it just goes to show that we're there and we
Exactly.
can
We've
do
made
this and hopefully just keep moving forward. But no, the original Ghost in the Shell on the 1995 list coming in at number 9.
There's a new series coming out also, by the way, by Science Saru. I'm very excited about it.
Number 8, very, very Oscar buzzy movie from that time, but a good one. Dead Man Walking, also kind of hard to watch. Probably wouldn't just fire that on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
I
Yes,
kind of forgot
right.
that movie existed, but
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I saw that like very young for some reason, like rented it.
That does seem like a Joey, like young watch. He'd be like, yeah, I'm 13. I want to watch Dead Man Walking.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you put on Leaving Las Vegas right after that.
Hell yes.
And then the piano when he went to go see it in the cinema.
Number 7. I'm curious if either of you have seen this. The Richard III that was Ian McKellen.
No, I really wanted to watch it, and I haven't watched it yet. I really want to, though.
I can't imagine how many movies I would have to watch before I get to that.
Here's the thing, as Shakespeare go, it is a cool kind of reimagining, and it's also under 2 hours, so it's not as it's not as lengthy as some of the older Olivier ones.
I really like
That's
the
nice.
histories for the most part too, so I'm in. I want to see that.
There you go. Number 6, and a movie that maybe we're going to be covering next episode, Lahan, coming in at number 6. Number 5, the aforementioned Apollo 13. Number 4, Ang Lee's Sense and Sensibility. How do we feel about that?
I'm not a fan of any of those books, so I it was fine.
Okay, there you go.
I think my sister will probably be really upset that I said I don't really like Jane Austen, but I really am just not a Jane Austen girl. So many people are. I just don't care.
That's okay.
Cool.
Fair. Top 3. I've seen all these movies. There you go. Number 3, Babe. Remember Babe?
Ah, yes.
Baram you. That was a whole thing.
Sheep be true. Yes, I love Babe.
So Academy Award nominated for Best Picture, Babe. Coming in. Did you
was
not
also
know
nominated for like. Oh no! But it was also nominated for Best Actor, right? For the really tall guy or supporting actor.
Yes.
Still very. I think it was worth it, especially for that song. If I had a day for you. I love Babe.
Number 2, and the reason why we're even talking about this list, Before Sunrise, and number 1, also on the in the National Film Registry, Toy Story. Toy Story coming in number 1 on the top films ranked of 1995. Just also for context sake, for our 1995 films, we have yet to talk about this movie, but Safe, the Todd Haynes film, came in at number 21, and also just so for context sake, Dead Man came in at 62.
That is so high.
That's way high.
It is. It's higher than it should be. I agree.
That's only appropriate if only 62 movies were made.
Okay, so that was that list. That was
a great list.
There we go.
I gotta say, the Linklater 2 weeks were so much better than the Jarmusch 2 weeks.
I agree. I definitely wholeheartedly agree with you on that one.
I was just loving life and needle drops and just in.
And I was watching body horror.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So Before Sunrise, Jesse and Celine are on a train, and after an angry German couple get mad at each other, they end up sitting by each other. They have a conversation, and they don't want the conversation to end. She's on her way to Paris, and he has to catch a flight back to America. But they decide to spend the day and night in Vienna, getting to know each other in a very happenstance and romantic meeting. And they have many a philosophical and possibly over-intelligent, but also fun conversation as they walk through and check out all the shit in Vienna. So, I gotta say right from the top, because I'm absolutely biased. I fucking love these movies. Came to them very, very late. We were in the process of finally, so we had been married for a couple of years. Sophie, our youngest, was like 6 months old, and we were in this weird period where we knew we were gonna move into our first house, but we hadn't moved into it yet. And so we're like in the midst of packing, and in our bedroom, we took down the bed frame, and so our mattress is just on the floor. And in 3 consecutive nights in our bedroom, we watched these movies, and each one was just like a little nugget of how much we like. Oh my God, this is fantastic! Even as brutal as like 15 minutes of Before Midnight is, because it's that fight in the hotel scene, which we're not talking about that movie, but it's
tough.
Pretty intense because it feels really fucking real. But these movies just hold a really
too much.
Yeah. So I just gotta put out right from the beginning that I love these movies. I will speak more cinematically as we go through this conversation. But this kind of just hits the right boxes for me.
So when I think I said it early on here in one of our, when we were all still really nice to each other, so Adam didn't murder me. And I said I didn't love Before Sunrise. It's definitely early first season. But I hadn't seen it in a while, and I think I didn't really appreciate what was going on as much, and how like absurdly selfish Jesse is kind of got to me. Maybe because I was as I'm watching them now I'm 41, so I'm at the same age they are in Midnight. So when I watched this, I was like the age they were in Sunset. Rewatching them was quite a different experience. I'll spoil the episode a little bit. I said to Kieran last week that all these movies are 5 stars, and there's one of them that if I could go higher, I'd go to like 8 stars. We'll get to which one later. So it was just really where, like that part I kind of understood. It didn't get to me, and I watched it more closely this time, and I really loved them.
I guess I have to say my opinion now. And
you don't have to do anything. You could.
So when Adam drafted this, I was excited because I thought, okay, this is going to be great. I would probably never watch these movies otherwise, only because I just made the assumption that I wouldn't enjoy them. And I don't know, life's too short to watch movies you don't think you're going to enjoy. But one of the things about this podcast is pushing ourselves to find movies that we might not have watched and see what it is that works about them, or why they don't work for us. I mean, art is subjective. And then I started it, and I realized very quickly that I was like, oh, I don't really like Ethan Hawke. That's one problem. I'm just not a big Ethan Hawke fan. So I was like, he's really going to have to win me over in this if I'm going to enjoy it. And I think I can say very safely that this is my favorite movie that we've ever watched on the podcast. I am obsessed with this movie. I love it so much. I think I cried all of the tears that I had held up for The Umbrellas of Cherbourg in this film alone. I'm enamored with this movie. And so when Neil and I watched it, it was we actually watched it on Mother's Day, so it was like 3 days before we were supposed to watch, do the episode. It was just life was happening so quickly, and I was like, I don't have time for anything. And so I had gotten a nice bottle of rosé, and we're like, let's watch rosé. Let's drink some rosé and watch this movie. And by the end of it, we both were just a mess and so happy that we had seen this film. And then I said, and he had never seen it before. He had no idea what this movie was. And at the end, he's like, oh my God, do they ever meet again? And I turned and I went, it's a trilogy. And he went, no, it's not. So then the next day I asked him if he wanted to watch the next one. And he said, I'm going to be honest. I think we need some time to wait with this. And I was like, I actually totally agree. So the only other one that we ended up getting to was Before Sunset, because we enjoyed the first movie so much that we kind of wanted to relish in that moment and enjoy not knowing what happened next. And I loved the next one as well. I thought it was just brilliant and beautiful. And I watched it today, actually. So, because I decided I was allowed to watch it before this. And I agree with Joey. I haven't seen Before Midnight yet. And I assume it's a 5-star film because both of these are 5 stars for me. Just like, bar none, they're up there with favorite movies of all time at this point. Like, I mean, it surpassed La La Land as my favorite episode or my favorite movie that we've watched. So, you know.
Well, and it's going to be tricky to not like to just talk about this, and I am going to try to do that. But maybe what I'll do is like frame notes, like as I talk about it, frame notes as they kind of relate to the other films. Because part of what I find so charming now, and Joe, kind of as you're saying, like I'm 40 is approaching, and I can see it. But there's something so fun about watching this couple, these two people just decide to do this. And, I was trying to think like, God, have I done anything even close to this? And the closest thing that I have was like when I was in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival when I was 23, and I was like at least similar age in a different place. Yep. And had like what I thought were deep, meaningful conversations, probably because I was with a group of theater people, and that's just kind of what we all think we're very deep and
we are the deepest people out there. What
exactly. But like, but it ends there, right? Because like at this point, I'm dating Melissa, and she's back in Washington, so it's not like this a romantic excursion. It's just I'm off in a far off place, doing all the cool far off shit, staying out really late and checking out all the sights and sounds. But like the whole idea of this, right? The emotional leap that Jesse and Celine take by going, yeah, I guess we're going to do this, is like, it's the kind of bravery that only like 22, 23-year-olds would have.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's a special type of not thinking ahead.
It's a special type of danger.
Yeah, especially Jesse, going to meet some girl he met and it got going well, and then still just being like, hey, come on, let's get off the train and hang out in Vienna. Like, let's go. And it's fucking great.
So I'll give this away very, very early. My unsung hero is Vienna, and just in general, it's 100%. Just the fact that they were able to film there, the fact that it has so much life, the fact that they feel it feels lived in because it's Vienna, and I so connected with going somewhere, having no money, and just having to create your own experiences. When Neil and I first started dating, well, I guess we weren't first started dating because we'd been together for like a year and a half, and I went to England. We were very poor. We had no money, but I wanted to see things, obviously, but we couldn't pay to go to big places. So we would just go to a city. Like our favorite place was Oxford, and we would just wander around. We would have our sandwiches in our bags because we knew we couldn't afford to like go get a pub dinner. We could probably afford maybe 2 beers in total the whole day. And we would try to find things to go do. We would find the museums. We went to a cricket match, which was really, really fun. We went through the markets, and it was that I distinctly remember having those experiences with Neil in a place that we couldn't afford. And it was incredible and amazing. And I think they captured that youthful joy so well, because now if I don't have money to go somewhere, I'm not going to go. Like, I'm not going to put myself in an awkward position. But when you're 23, you're like, yeah, I can talk my way in. It's going to be fine. We'll just steal a bottle of wine. Exactly. And it's that youthful, I don't know, that youthful confidence was captured so well in this movie. It just, God, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Well, and I think a lot of that is reinforced by the youthful confidence of Linklater. Like the fact that like, and Slacker, which, and I think I'm going to have like an experience like maybe like that Joey had with this, because I've only seen Slacker once, and I don't have fond memories of watching it. Now I'm open to, having that opinion flip, but Linklater made this film very low budget in Austin, a lot of non-actors in it, but people really dug the concept behind it. Ethan Hawke had this quote, and I think he said that he said this to Linklater at one point, but he's like, basically, like, all of Linklater's big ideas are like so basic when you really think about them. Like, what if a camera just followed strangers from person to person in that Slacker? What if two people met on a train and just got off and talked the entire time, right? Like Boyhood, what if we just filmed somebody over like 12 years and saw what happened? Like, they're the kind of thing on paper that are like, okay, but then in execution, that's what pulls us in. And so for whatever it was, like Linklater having the chutzpah to just be like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to go to Vienna and we're going to shoot people having these conversations. And Britt, I love the Vienna pick because I can't believe this was almost just going to be set like on a train in Texas. Like,
right?
Crazy.
San Antonio, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, not that two Americans can't have that, but I think like that, like Vienna is nobody's home territory, you know, like she's on her way back to Paris. So yeah, exactly. And it's just this place that they happen to be in. And because nobody has the upper hand, it's just two people wondering and exploring, and they both don't know where the day is going to go, which makes it so much more fun.
It's such a lovely film that I just didn't anticipate hitting me right in the feels. And I feel like I'm always looking for a slice of life film. And this really ticked every single box for me. Everything I wanted came to be in this. I love the fact that Jesse is always kind of on the edge where he's always almost saying the wrong thing. He's going to say something to piss her off. But then Celine is so comfortable with herself that she has no problem just going straight back at him and telling him, I really didn't enjoy that, like how you responded to this. And I think that's extremely strong and super great. Because I don't know if she had been American, I'm not sure we would have gotten that. Because I think that she brought such like life to this character. I don't know. I'm trying to get my thoughts together about this movie because it really did just affect me way more than I anticipated. Anyways, I'll stop now. Somebody else continue.
I mean, talk about Julie Delpy. She's my unsung hero for the whole trilogy.
She's amazing.
She's perfect throughout. Like I'd watch a fourth one right now with her before dusk or whatever bullshit. But I think she was absolutely fantastic. I loved her character. I loved, because Ethan Hawke, we all know him as Troy from Reality Bites, and there's just baggage with him. She's really great, and she holds her own, and watching like the behind the scenes stuff that they have about the three of them writing the future things, like she's just at full points. It was just all of them working this out, and she's my unsung hero for. I mean, she's sung, but I just think she's so pitch perfect throughout the three, and that she brings so much to it that I watched Three Colors White again today just because I was like, oh yeah, she's in that. Let me watch it. And guess what? She's great in it. She's great.
She is for the 2 seconds she's in that film. She's great.
It's great.
I love that movie. I just love the whole Three Colors trilogy. It's amazing.
Me too. But
another underrated trilogy,
Yep.
It is. I thought you were gonna do an underrated trilogy list. I like the one you came up with.
Oh man, that'd have been good.
Collider did one. It wasn't a great list, but
The Hobbit.
But, I don't know what that is. But, what's a Hobbit? But
it's a very famous book.
It's a book too. Wow, I don't know. They put books on Collider. That's weird. Who cares about that?
You did this, Adam. You brought it up.
That's fair. I did. I know.
I really enjoy when they get off the train and they just meet the two guys who have the play. Like, because like we all know watching that they're not going to that play, right? Like at no point but like they think they might.
I wanted them to go so badly.
I'm watching it like they're never going to go, but they think they're going. And I fucking love that they thought that they had a plan in this unplanned day and there was just no chance it was going to happen because the city was going to take them elsewhere. And I thought that was just beautiful.
I
played the cow.
I play the cow. I like when he was like, you don't speak anything. He's like, why don't we speak German? Can't you speak another language? And I was like, that's fair. That is 100% fair.
It's true.
So I don't know how to ask this question because I don't want to necessarily do favorite scenes yet, but like they're really I guess I'm wondering of all of the conversations or maybe all of the places where they have conversations, like is there one that stands out to you maybe more than others, or one that maybe, I guess, maybe particular resonates with you? Because, like it's really like they talk here, they talk here, they talk here. And I'm wondering if like which of those maybe stands out to the two of you.
The pinball scene.
Oh, at the bar.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Julie Delpy's really bad at pinball. That's what I kept noticing.
Well, now I don't remember if it's in Sunrise, if it's in Sunset or Midnight, but she talks about how she played badly on purpose.
Yeah, that comes up.
I don't remember that in Sunset.
Yeah, I think it's Midnight. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it must be Midnight. But that's something that I noticed right away. I was like, God, she's really bad at pinball. Like, I was kind of hoping, I was kind of hoping she was going to be better, and she wasn't. But that conversation where they finally have the significant other conversation was, I think, really important. Like, they had to do it at that point. They had to finally come clean to each other. And I thought they did a really good job, because there was no animosity between them. There was no friction. It was just them being totally honest. And when Ethan Hawke gets his edginess back, which again, I had to get over Ethan Hawke's baggage watching this movie, and I thought he was really charming and did a great job. I think that when he his embarrassment is because of himself. It's coming from himself, and you can see Julie Delpy actually recognize that, but kind of let him sit in it. And I loved it. I think she's such a strong character, and that's my scene that I just absolutely adored. It's not my pick of the movie, but that's the conversation I really liked.
That's a great one. Probably my second favorite, I'll say about the other one for the scene, is them in the church. I just think it looks fantastic. I'm just walking up to it, sitting in there. I think I just love that whole piece.
Because that's where that's where he talks about the Quaker wedding.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody says anything until they're moved to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's I asked Neil about it, because Neil went to a Quaker school when he was in England. They had a Quaker hall in the town that he grew up in, and he's not religious, but he always said that if he did find religion later on in life, he would probably be a Quaker, because he just really appreciates the fact that it is mostly about waiting to speak until you feel the need to. He actually went on a Quaker religious retreat at one point, and he's a hardcore atheist, so but they knew that, and they still were willing to invite him along. So Quakers are actually really lovely people, apparently. At least they are in England. And I asked Neil if
they're pretty progressive people.
Yeah,
for religious people, and they really like oats.
Yeah. No, I think I genuinely, I think that they are. I mean,
they have positive vibes about them.
Yeah,
they seem to be progressive, and they seem to be more individual in the society, and not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I like that scene. I asked him if he'd ever been to a Quaker wedding, and he said no, so he couldn't give us any insight.
And I also just think it's one of my favorite shot scenes too. It's just an old, cool, church in Vienna is just gorgeous.
It's in Brit. You've probably been over to the UK and way more than I have. But that's the thing about when people ask me what it was like over in Scotland while I was there, and it was so long ago. But the thing that I always go back to was just how far the history is, and buildings are made of brick and streets are still cobblestone, and you can see things that were around from the 1200s, and it's this is amazing, and the history is so deep that I think, again, picking Europe for all of these movies, right? You just get to see, and I love that we go from Vienna to Paris to Greece, and Greece is even older, and it's wow, look at all, it's just I think it's a really smart choice of how they did that. But yeah, Joe, I think you're right. Just film if you put charismatic people with interesting shit to say in a cool spot, I mean, a lot of the work's going to be done for you.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, this is why these things are good.
I think that they really used the setting to their advantage. And also, like you said, Adam, they're just so charismatic, the two of them. They're really on equal footing this whole movie. It would have been really easy for them to cast some, if they cast this incorrectly, one person would always be stronger than the other, and it would really make such an unbalanced watch. It would feel uncomfortable. But they both just command the scenes so well together. It's just kind of amazing to watch.
Well, and I think, I mean, Linklater talks about like months looking for the right Celine, and then landing on Julie Delpy, who at that point was like already a fairly well-known French actress. And then the thing about Ethan Hawke, which, and I don't know if Troy from Reality Bites is where I go first for Ethan Hawke, but the outspoken Gen Xer, right before they're doing this, if any of that, like if that character really seeps into Jesse, then I'm kind of with Britt. I mean, this could be a really tough, like, Jesus Christ, do I really want to hear this guy talk for like an hour and 40 minutes?
Hard. Because if it is Troy, it's insufferable.
Yeah. Yes.
He has to have more. He has to be more introspective. He has to be, and while still being selfish as he was as a character, but it has to balance out that way. And I think they nail it. And I think Julie Delpy is one of the reasons why, because I think she's so strong.
I think Ethan Hawke managed to be extremely vulnerable. Like this scene where he goes and sits and finds her on the train and says, here's a, like, this is a wild thing. Let's get off the train together. That could have been really uncomfortable, really cringeworthy, and also really just like, dude, take a step back. You're really overreaching, but there's an earnestness about his delivery, the way that he is trying to convince her to get off the train with him, that I think she finds so kind of cute.
It's like endearing.
There's something endearing about the way that he's talking to her and the way that he wants her to come. And there's a desperation to what he's doing. And it's really humanizing, because the first scene with him, I'm going to be honest, the first scene where the two of them are talking in the train car, like in the drinks cart or whatever, I didn't really like it that much. And I wasn't a big fan of their interaction. So I thought, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this. And then when I went back to rewatch it, it was like, oh, they're both trying to suss each other out. So no wonder I feel like it's very performative, because they are performing for each other in that moment. And it really works when you've already seen the movie before. But if it had just been that scene, if I'd only seen that, I would have been out.
But I love that they do that, and they build up to, like, they build into the natural, and it really comes to the head at the pinball scene where they're like, all right, now all cards on the table type conversation. And I think that's really killer. And I think it's important, because if it does feel supernatural and quippy in the train, what are we building towards? So I agree, you feel the performative. That's a great word, but it really is just so effective.
Yeah. Well, and the progression of the story, right? Yeah, the performative aspect when they're on the train, the awkwardness when they first get off, they get on the trolley and they decide to ask each other questions, which is kind of about learning the other one, but also still breaking the ice. We get and I'm sure we'll come back to it, but we get the listening booth scene where we realize that they definitely, like, they're vibing and they like each other, but they haven't gotten to that part yet. Yeah. Obviously they express those feelings physically when they're in the Ferris wheel. But you're right. The pinball scene happens after that. And that's when they get a little more honest. And this, like, preemptively, because I've seen this movie a couple times before, like, I was so sure that I was going to pick the listening booth scene as my scene of the movie. But the reason I asked about the conversations and what stood out to you and what you liked is, so mine is when they're at the restaurant and they're doing the fake phone calls. Me too.
It's great.
That one hit me harder this time than previous watches, because and again, and you got to credit both the writing, but Julie Delpy's performance, this idea of just being like, okay, I'm going to call my friend. Okay. And she just does it. And so doing this, I love it. They can't have the conversation because that might be a little too forward, but to kind of play act like, oh, I met this guy, oh, I met this girl. And they just basically say everything that they're thinking. I dug that scene so much. Gotta give major respect to Julie Delpy's American bro accent. That was
my God,
hysterical. Hey, dude.
She nailed it. She doesn't miss a beat here.
That scene really that one really hit me
Yeah.
hard this last go around.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, I have two movies for scene of the movie. It's that and the listening booth scene. I can't make a choice because I think they're two of my favorite scenes ever.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. So I just chose two. I pulled an absolute cop-out maneuver. They're great, and they're very important for different reasons, because the listening booth scene is just fantastic, and it's just them kind of having, they're not ready to be honest with each other, but they're kind of finally realizing it themselves, like, oh shit. And then when you get to the next scenes, and then it just rebuilds so perfectly in a way that's really hard to do, and they nailed it.
They really did. My favorite scene is in the cafe. Just Julie Delpy playing with her lip as she's talking on the phone. It's like, oh, you know what you're doing, girl. Like, you are doing this on purpose, and it's amazing. Ethan Hawke, just like, there's one shot of him where he pulls his hand away and then quickly puts his hand back up, and it's just like so cute and playful between them. And they're just being so honest with one another, even if it's in the only way that they really know how, because they really think they're never going to see each other again after this night. It's perfect. It's so nice. It's such a lovely glimpse back into that, like, the first few days of meeting somebody that you're really connected with. And in Before Sunset, they make the comment, like, we thought that we would have so many people in our lives that we would connect with, but really you only get a few. And that hit me like really hard today. Like, that hit me right in the heart, thinking, yes, you do have to make that choice with those people that you are connected with, because you don't know if you're going to get another opportunity to do that. So you should jump in and take it while you can. I don't know. They really, really got to me, and made me think about the choices of, like, how life can be different if you decide not to follow those impulses,
Well, and the relevancy of that, at least it's so funny. So when we moved here, we didn't know anybody, like, new state, but a lot of people forget that this part of Michigan is actually even part of the US, right? So a lot of people think this is part of Canada. Yeah. And we were at a student orientation for my oldest, and we were talking to her teacher, like, we had to move, and you're not sure how she's going to go. We moved from Seattle, and some guy like 5 feet away went, Seattle. And like, it's like, oh, what brings you here? And just starts talking to me. And I'm like, oh, well, I got a job. And 1 week later, we went bowling with this couple and their family, and they became our Sioux friends. Right. And it was because I said Seattle, and he jumped on in, and he's like, oh, I'm a Chiefs fan. And I'm like, oh, I fucking hate Patrick Mahomes, but great. Good for you. And so like, and now they're moving, we found out just last week that they're moving, and it's like, fuck, that sucks. And like, in the grand scheme of like life, we've known them for like maybe 3 years, but like, that blows. But I think it's because it was sort of something that starts on a whim. Somebody just taking that chance. It's like, oh, well, that worked out. Right. And
yeah.
And so when you can see them take that chance. And I think the listening booth scene, among just being really great for the missed looks and everything, in another world, right? Let's say everything in the movie is exactly the same, except for they go into the listening booth and they don't know who Kath Bloom is, and the song comes on, and it's this really slow romantic song. It would have been, I mean, how easy is just to go, oh, I'm gonna go look at records and just, but they both, like, nobody leaves. They don't leave. And it's so indicative of even, and Britt, you hit this earlier, like when he rags on the fortune teller, and later on she's like, I really didn't like when you ragged on the fortune teller. Yeah. Was she pissed? Absolutely. Did she leave? No, she didn't. Because there was something still keeping them together, wanting to find out more.
Well, and I think she makes a comment too that like conflict isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, she's like, I don't know why people run away from conflict, because that doesn't mean that's not indicative of something being wrong. It's just something that happens between people. And I was like, that's very fair. If I cause a lot of conflict for no reason, just because I'm hot-headed. So if my husband really had a problem with that, he would have left a long time ago. And instead he just goes, are you done? And I go, yes, I am. And he goes, great, let's move forward with this now. And I think that's so important to, like, because I feel like we never see that anymore. We definitely wouldn't, if this movie had been made now and was made by a lesser director, that would have been the conflict, right? Her wanting to leave and him going to try to find her because they had this fight and they argued. And instead it was just this slight argument they had, and then they got past it and they continued going because they were enjoying being around each other. Even in the listening booth, Neil and I were talking about how nice it is that they were standing next to each other, because if it was a movie nowadays, it would be the awkward, like, oh, it's so small and tiny. And they'd have to like worm their way around each other, and they'd have to listen to it like, face to face.
They'd be like, what's a listening booth?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. But they definitely would have tried to like shoehorn them being too close for comfort, and then the tension would be, are they gonna kiss or not? Who knows? Is someone gonna touch the other one? Whereas I think in that scene, it was just so pleasant to watch them kind of discover each other, right? Oh God, everything about this movie works for me. I love it so much. I also think I really made Adam think that I hated this movie.
You successfully did. And like I would have accepted. Well, here's the thing. Like this, despite its a perfect 100% Rotten Tomato critical score, I can absolutely see somebody not liking this movie. It's not the fastest of paced films. It's
I don't
not
know.
like,
I think everybody should like it. It's really good.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But
Hey, listen, I got to show Kristen 3 movies that are great that she was like, yes. I was like, big win.
Same with Neil. Same with Neil. He loved this movie.
Yeah.
He said, if I watched Before Sunrise without him, it would have been the greatest betrayal in our marriage. So, genuinely. So, this was it worked. Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Adam, continue.
You're good. I could see this, if this is, I could see this as not being everybody's cup of tea, but there is just something about the conversations. And I like, and again, I think when you kind of zoom out and look at the whole trilogy, they're still pretty intellectual and highfalutin in Sunrise. But by the time they get to midnight, yes, they're at like a retreat that like a famous novelist owns. So there's still smart people in the room, but the conversations spoiler alert, the start of the movie is basically like Jesse dropping off his son at the airport so he can go back home. And really the first long scene is Jesse and Celine driving back from the airport, having the camera never breaks, and they're in the car and they have a very, very, I mean, this makes sense for these movies, but very, very long conversation. But it's mixed in with like him stealing an apple from his daughter who's asleep in the back seat and just chomping on it. And Julia was like, did you just steal food from our child? And he's like, I sure did. And it becomes way more, it's less about how smart and intellectual and everybody trying to prove something, and way more about we are who we are now.
Yeah.
We really know. And we hear a lot more about what Julie Delpy does. We hear a lot more about her job, because so much, especially in the second one, is about what Jesse did, him being a writer and seemingly writing a good book. Britt, I think you will love the copious amount of shit that Julie Delpy gives Ethan Hawke in the third one about how much he just cribbed from their meeting, and how like his success as a writer is really about, it's like he was only successful about writing about the two of them. It's great. It's really good.
I really truly don't think you can spoil these movies, even if somebody were to read a synopsis of all of them, because you have to experience this to understand what's happening. If you read the Wikipedia for, this movie Before Sunrise, it says stuff like they have many conversations while they go to a cafe, and they go to a church, and they go to a graveyard, and they go to a pinball place, all of that. And you will never understand the vast conversations that these two people are having, the incredible emotions and the vulnerability that they're letting loose in front of us all. It's just, you can't spoil. So spoil away for Before Midnight, because it's not a spoiler. It doesn't give me the emotion. Like, I can't wait for that. I'm going to be so upset.
They just have such unbelievable chemistry, and the deliveries and just the way they look at each other or not look at each other through different times throughout all three movies is really, it's just so engaging through, like, it's hard to look away. So you're right, it doesn't matter. I could read what happened, but you can never tell me what happened with this unless I
Yeah.
watch it. You can watch it and miss it if you're not paying attention.
It is one of those movies that you do really have to pay attention to. Put your phone down. Like,
because a lot of it is who's looking where when.
and it's not just about even listening to what they're saying. It's about watching the other person's reaction to what they're saying.
Sometimes you want to super kick Jesse a little bit.
I would like to drop kick Jesse sometimes. Let's be real.
Sometimes.
Like, it would be a really good drop kick too. Like,
I'm like Jesse, I'm like, you just don't have friends in Chicago.
Oh, he probably doesn't.
No, he does. He's very good looking and charming. He has a lot of friends.
I don't know what it is about Ethan Hawke. He just kind of skeeves me out sometimes.
I love Ethan Hawke. I think
I'm
that's
sorry.
bananas. He's not Hobbit enough. Is that you?
That is like no context to what we're even discussing. So
I don't know what a Hobbit is.
No, actually, I can tell you, I've never really believed anything that he's done. He's always been a little too much for me. I always feel like he's a very serious actor who's very serious about all the serious things that he is saying. And I still think he's that way in this movie. But Julie Delpy is able to kind of knock him down a couple pegs. And I think that's why they work really well.
So perfectly. She knocks him down.
I think maybe it's because of when the movies came out, and when they would have been filming, but Ethan Hawke's performance in Before Midnight, I mean, both of them, but like, I think that might be the best I think he's ever been in a movie.
I agree.
But also around the same time, they would have been filming the later years of Boyhood. And there's one line, it's a single line that he delivers to Patricia Arquette that fucking wrecks me every time. And it's towards the end. It's at the graduation dinner, and they're just kind of tidying up, and he looks at her and he goes, "You did a good job raising our kids." And I just it just destroys me every time, because he's both giving a compliment, but also like admitting just how he wasn't there enough. And it just fucking rips my goddamn heart out and shows it to me. But so like later year Ethan Hawke, I just really dig. I dig him in that mode.
Well, like, he got his energy. He figured out his energy and like how to put himself out there. I really like Ethan Hawke, so I'm like, he's in what, Black Phone 2's coming out. Can't fucking wait. Ethan Hawke in a mask killing kids.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Killing kids. Jeez.
I liked him in Black Phone, so I guess
Yeah,
I also liked him in Sinister, but I think he's just playing a skeevy guy. So
Dig him in Sinister, yeah.
Also an author. I love him in Sinister.
Yeah, he was a
very
dick.
author energy. He is a novel. Like, if he was an actor,
He's
he'd be a
novelist.
Did you guys see
he was doing a lot of this.
Oh my god. That's just how he walks around. Did you guys see the documentary he made about Paul Newman?
Mm-mm.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's really good, but like, he's in it, and like, he's in all his glory, like reading all these things, and like, you could feel him smiling at times as they're like showing clips and he's talking, and I love it because I like him, but like, it would probably drive Brit nuts.
Yeah, I think it would drive me absolutely batty. But I'm not the only one. Neil's the same way. We both, maybe that's why we're married, because we both kind of have a little bit of a disdain for Ethan Hawke in certain roles. So, because he also said, I'm not sure we can get behind him as Jesse because he's kind of being too much right now. But he was really charming. And I think when he got off the train, Neil went, "God damn it, he's so charming right now." And I was like, yeah, I agree. This is kind of good. I kind of really like it. And then I was sobbing hysterically at the end when they were leaving each other, because that just brought back so many memories. So many memories of leaving on the air without your spouse. Yeah, no, can't.
How do we feel about the poem?
I liked the poem a lot.
I did too.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the poem. It works.
I thought the poem was great, and I liked their conversation. Yeah. Again, her kind of calling him out for being super cynical.
Oh, he's totally cynical.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Even though I would say that she is extremely cynical.
She's more cynical.
But there's a whimsy about her in certain moments that I really enjoy.
And she's more
I also love that
her cynicalness.
Yeah. She calls him a rooster prick, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal insult.
It's incredible.
LA Confidential gave us Shitbird, and
Yeah.
before Sunset gave us Rooster Prick. This is just fantastic. We need more bird insults. I'm
Agreed.
digging
Birds
this.
suck. So insult away with birds.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I have an irrational dislike of birds. So in case you didn't know that.
That has to
very
have come
annoying.
up in the past. I feel like that's something that Britt, I think, would have shared on a podcast before.
Yeah. That feels
They're very
legit.
annoying. They're very loud.
Okay, so Britt, you had Vienna as your unsung hero, and Joey, you had Julie Delpy. I like it, when I can go like really unsung, I go really unsung. And I went about as far as I could. I believe I'm going to probably say this name wrong. Amy Lerhopt? I don't know if I said that right. This is the woman that he met at a toy store that sort of inspired the genesis for the idea.
That's great.
And
Philadelphia, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And how we kind of found out. I mean, that's like another piece of the, like, it's not even really about the movie, but when you know it, and it, you know, it adds another layer to the filmmaking and what kind of went into it. Which I just wanted to go with that one because, you know, she's kind of the
pretty
spark
important
of the idea. We all did scenes. I would not be surprised if at least one of us, if there's some agreement on shot. So anybody want to go with their favorite shot?
Sure. There is a shot where they're coming out of they've come out of, I believe it's the first bar that they go to have a beer or two. And until then, the shots have been pretty straight on and they're not moving. But as soon as they leave the bar, the camera's listing the entire time as they're having a conversation. This like conversation as they're walking down the road. And I just thought it was such an incredible way to kind of induce not only this sense of euphoria that the two of them were honest with each other and like open about their expectations, but also the fact that they now were imbibing in alcohol and they were probably a little bit drunk. So it was a really great way to put us in the same headspace. And I just thought it was brilliant and an incredible use of camera work. So that's what I went with.
Joey, what about you?
Yeah, so I think it was after they left the club when it was the really pulled back scene. It was them talking, and it was just the faraway shot of the whole city, and it was just quiet except for the flashing lights in different parts, and it was the quietest part of the whole movie. But I just thought it was.
Is that when it's at night?
Yeah, it's nighttime.
Okay. See, and I went with they've just listened to the harpsichord, and it's a wide shot of them sitting beneath the statue early morning. There's like the city hasn't awoken yet.
That's a really
yes.
good
and it's just like
it's
not literally just them, but for all intents and purposes,
it feels like it's just them,
the two of them. I
100%.
really,
that's
really
a great
like
shot.
That shot. So I'm definitely not trying to wrap it up, but as far as the trilogy goes, one thing that I absolutely love about the second one is the real-time nature of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like maybe the best use of, well, of course this is going to be different now because we have cell phones, but I love that kind of ticking clock nature. Oh, well, I can call from the thing. And they really traverse Paris, and it's so great. And I think as far as cliffhangers go, it's about as endearing a cliffhanger you're ever going to fucking see. It's just stupendous. You are not going to make that play. And oh my God, there's something so, he says, I know, but like his hands up and he's like, he's twiddling his ring finger. And it's like, oh my God, it's just what's going to happen?
Neil, literally that happened. It goes to black. Neil slammed his hand down on the bed and went, God damn it. Very loudly. These movies are really affecting us. I'm very excited to watch the next one, but I'm glad I didn't. We needed a break. I loved the second movie. I at first wasn't sure about how I felt about the ticking clock. I was like, okay, I get what we're doing here, but I'm not sure if that's really what I want. I wanted that so badly. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I thought it was so good. I when they get on the boat and she's like, I don't want to get on this. It's a very touristy thing to do. Listen, always get on those boats on the river because they're really fun. I went on one in England down the river there, and it was just a blast, even though it's super touristy. So get on the boat, especially if you're in that situation. Okay, I do have a question for the second movie, even though we're not talking about it. At what point do you think they realized he's not getting on the plane?
When they left the bookstore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I have a very I think that for him, it was when he pulls her onto his lap. When they're I think that was the moment that he knew. I think for her, it was when she got in the car with him. I think that's when she went, I'm allowing this to happen, because I think ball was totally in her court. I think she could have, she was either going to let him come up or not. Yes. And when she got in the car, she was like, I'm going to let this happen. And that's why she has this kind of crisis in the car, because she realizes that her whole life was around something that she tried to kind of forget about but couldn't, which I loved their crises in the car. I was like, God, this is so understandable. Like, this is great. Continue, do 18 more minutes of them just crying to each other. But I really do think that's when they made the choices. But I mean, it was probably when they left the bookstore. Let's be real. But
so this is the one I said before. If out of 5 stars, I could give this 8, I would. This is one of my favorite. This is going to come up on a list we're making for another project.
I think this might come up on a list that we're making for another project of mine too. So
whatever makes hers.
Excuse me. Not today, Mitch.
Oh, all days.
No, I have 10 days.
It's a little literal, but yeah, sure. But yeah, I think, because I was, after watching sunrise going into sunset, I was nervous. I was like, all right, that's like hot. And then the fact that left it, I was like, oh, they're doing this. And the ticking clock edition, I thought, was really smart way to switch up. But I think they did a really good way to fill in 9 years in an effective way without it being annoying is also really hard to do. And they just, they closed all the loops that needed to be closed.
I really, really liked when she was like, tell me when. I appreciated that a lot, because we all know I love flipping the bird. So that made me, that endeared her to me even more. And I also realized I loved the fact that they had successful lives. They would probably have been fine moving on without each other, but they were both very honest about like, yeah, it's not easy being an adult. Just there. It's just not. And I really liked that like they were able to admit that to each other. I don't know. I'm enamored by everything. I'm just so enamored with it.
Well, yeah, they're because they're great. And I don't know if there's a popular opinion on this. The third one is my favorite. And it's the one that as I get older, and maybe it's just because it's what I can recognize more clearly now, but just the raw nature. And that's the thing, is like, there is still love there, but it's really interesting because they're both facing these different crises, right? She's got more of a work-based one, like, does she want to work for this company or take this other job and what that means? But Jesse is sort of, not that he didn't know this, but he's trying to come to terms with, like, his son is an ocean away and he's missing out on things. And like,
yeah,
he never, and this is really what such a crux of the kind of an argument is, like, he never says, let's move to Chicago, but he's implying it hard. And Delpy's like, so what are we going to do? We're just going to move again for you. And so like they get into this argument at the latter stages of the film that is just
I've heard about this.
Brutal.
I've heard about this argument.
But it's so
intense in a way. Like, you couldn't do that in the first movie of this. They needed to have spent you needed the 20 years with them, and holy shit.
Yeah.
It's and she says at one point, she says something to him amongst the lines of like, listen, we know how you are. You're upset about this now, but in 3 days you're going to be past it. Why are we doing this? And it's just, I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, she's right, but oh no.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It out. I mean,
we will.
It's just so, it's so good.
It's great. that was the one, because that one, I think it's the most different of the three, because I think they're older and it's not based off like just connection anymore. Right now it's lived in. Now there's real life involved in it that you don't get in the
Well,
and so it just feels so much different in this really good way, and like more grown up way. Like this is how these two people would be 18 years after the fact.
I mean, I haven't seen it obviously, but the first two are very much like the first one's about being enamored with somebody, right? Like that like just having that instantaneous connection that is passionate and physical and just all encompassing. And then the second one is finding that again, and the romantic, and like it's still very much like this romantic passionate love. But then, like, I mean, we all have been married to obviously to other people for a long time. All of us, like, we've been with our partners for a long time, so we know that like that doesn't, like, that passion, the romantic love, it's not the same thing as what you have 11 years later. And sometimes that's a huge issue for couples. And I think that's a really interesting thing if that's what they're going into. Like they're going into like living how they live together, right? It's very different than experiencing Vienna in one night with somebody that you're extremely attracted to and you are just enamored by. And I love that. I love that exploration, because I think that's a side of relationships we don't really get to see very often, especially not like the part where you have to work towards it. And again, like, I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but my assumption is they're going to be tackling this very well. Just like, it's a choice every morning. You wake up and you make the choice to be like, to continue being a part of this thing, right? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a very complicated thing. And I feel like this is the only movie that would be able to tackle it in the way that I would want to see it tackled personally. Maybe I just really like the other two so much.
They all rock. They all rock.
Yeah.
Best blind buy Criterion purchase I've ever made. And like, it's just, it sits so proudly on my shelf. I fucking love these movies. And there's just a trove of special features, and not just even really about the trilogy. There's a really good feature-length one on Linklater that I probably will have to watch again when we get to Slacker, because it encompasses his entire career.
And it doesn't exist anywhere else except there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tried really hard to find it elsewhere.
Well, hot damn.
And it's not on the the Criterion channel. It's not. It's just that's just where it is. I couldn't even find people who ripped it onto YouTube.
Physical media.
Yeah. Well, there's a sale, so me buying that trilogy, good chance.
I mean, I'm sure we could each give like a thesis about this film, but anything, like, any lingering thoughts that we want to put out there?
Was Julie Delpy wearing a skirt underneath her dress? I was not sure, but it kind of looked like she was wearing a skirt under her dress, and it was very confusing to me.
Whatever she was doing was right, is my answer to that.
I don't know if it is.
I support her.
You know, that era, because they filmed that in '94. I remember we could get, I remember, especially because we were living in the PNW, there was a lot of like, I would have like, they would sell these as combo sweats with plaid shorts that you would wear over them. Yeah. And it was this weird grunge aesthetic thing. It was fucking weird.
I was 6 at that time, so I don't recall it. I was 6 and I went to Catholic school, so I basically just wore a uniform every day. So I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
I mean, I was 9 with a stepdad who at the time was all about the grunge scene. So I was just like force fed, like, wear this, like, yeah.
I mean, I do think I have 12 different flannels in my closet right now. So
all I own is this. This is my closet.
When Neil and I leave to go like to the brewery or anything, it's like a race to see who can put a flannel on first, because he point blank refuses to leave the house if we're both wearing a flannel. So it's always like, I got it first. Because that's great. What we do. And if I have a beanie on, if I have a Carhartt beanie on, he's like, I can't wear a hat now. I can't. We're not going to be that couple that leaves the house in flannels and Carhartt beanies. Okay.
That's so great, because Melissa, like, she will change her outfit sometimes to look more like what I'm wearing.
Oh, Neil would be very upset with me if I did that. We have left the house in similar outfits before, and he's gone back in and changed.
I'll be like, at the point where like, I'm thinking we work together now. We're, at the same, in the same building. So like, I'll be like kind of packing some food and she'll come out and see me and then go back. And then I'll still be doing my thing and she'll come back and she'll like change the shirt. And I'm like, that looks remarkably like what I'm wearing right now. And she's like, yep. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, people are going to make fun of us at work, man.
Oh, that's hilarious. Joey, do you and your wife dress the same?
No, there's much better sense than that.
I will say, Britt, have you heard Joey's wife talk at all?
No, never.
When I was out on Long Island for the live BPC thing,
yep.
it was I was just kind of driving around and I just happened to run into Oz and oh God, help me. What is Grant's wife's name? Katie. And is it Kirsten or Kristen? No, Kristen. And I just kind of, made myself a part of the group, but they were all talking about stuff. And I was like, I was just into whatever they were talking about. I mean, Kristen and Katie have very good Long Island. Like, amazing. I think they sound more Long Island than you, Joey. And I was really digging it. I was digging everything about it. They need to do more stuff on Mike because it makes. Yeah.
I love that.
I have said that. But yeah. She really does have like the best one ever.
I mean, I feel like Kristen can come on this podcast whenever she wants. Like, that's just an open invitation. If there's ever a movie that she likes, she's more than welcome to come talk to us about it. Or she can just tell us how bad it is. That's also fair. I'm like very open to that.
Funny.
Yes. Like, what was John Dielman? Watching paint dry is more interesting.
She was just mad. She's like, you don't actually like that. You don't actually like that.
It's like, yes, I do. It's really good.
It is good.
Great.
Okay, well, let's make it official, even though it should be painfully obvious at this point. And I'll remind you both that this movie is not currently in the book. So, Britt, do you think Before Sunrise should be in the book of 1001 movies you must see before you die?
Now, I said that this is like my favorite movie now. Like, it's the favorite movie that I've ever watched on this podcast. Does that mean I'm going to put it in the book? Yes, yeah, obviously. Cool. Good, it will be in the book. I haven't watched the last one yet, but I honestly I think I can just say it should be a trilogy. If we can have the Toy Story movies as like a, all in there, I think we can put all three of these films in. I haven't even seen the last one. And so I would say that this should be one section that's just all together. Because I honestly, this movie blew my mind. And it's going to become a yearly watch for me, I think. Like, I loved it so much. So then I have to take something out. And I think my pick to take out might be controversial. Because I just think it might be. I don't like Boyhood. I really am not a fan. And I think that this is a more impressive film, even though that one was filmed over 12 years. But there's something a little bit hollow about that film. It doesn't fill the space quite in the way that this movie does. So I'm going to take Boyhood out.
Oh, man, fair. We were saving Boyhood for the next time. Interesting.
This time. Sorry. I just couldn't. I have to be true to myself.
Be true to you. Be true to your school.
Always
That's
am.
What the Beach Boys said.
Joey,
yes, please.
Yeah, I forgot to take something out. So actually, I'll make it easier. I also think that the trilogy should be in was my answer.
Yes.
And Boyhood should come out. And I really like this with an open mind. I don't dislike it, but I just think it's good. And I think these movies all belong there as a trilogy, 100%. Because it's the before. And keep making them, and I'll keep telling you to put them in because
I can't wait for Before Death. Their last one.
Terrible name.
Yeah, well, what's next? They've already done Midnight, so it's just Before Death next.
I think maybe like before the early bird special. You know what I mean? Like, it's just them getting exactly.
Before December. But yes. Yes.
Yeah. This movie is fantastic. This trilogy is fantastic. And my answer is going to be tentative in terms of what I'm taking out, but I'm with you on the Linklater train, but I'm going to take out Slacker. And maybe I'll be sorely mistaken when we watch it and cover it later in the season.
I haven't seen it yet, so
Me neither.
Well, there we go. Great. So we will discover more when we talk at Linklater again. But what we have decided is that this movie rocks. This trilogy rocks. They should be in the book, and you should watch them. So watch them, and thanks for listening. You can listen to us where podcasts are listened to, and you can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Britt, you've been posted on Facebook. I mean, it's you, but still.
It's connected to mine for some reason, so it just keeps, and I'm like, that. You know what? Whatever, that's fine.
I dig it. It's great.
My aunts and uncles love it. They always send me messages like, I saw your clip, and I'm like, thanks. Thank you so much, Aunt Mary. That's so sweet of you.
It's fantastic. Good stuff. And Britt, I think we're ending our 95 trifecta.
We are.
Next time.
We're talking about Lahan, and I'm really, really excited. I haven't seen it yet.
Me neither.
Stars Vincent Cassel, and I really enjoy Vincent Cassel. So let's see if it's I think it's going to be a really interesting conversation, if nothing else.
I discovered last night that I own another Matthew Kasovitz film. Won't surprise you to know that I didn't know that I even owned it.
Is it Gothica?
No, it is not. It is not. It is a French film, though. It's another French film.
Nice.
Another Vincent Cassel film. I've only seen this once, but I'm excited. I am also very excited to talk about it.
So yeah, watch Lahan and then let us know what you think.
Damn Skippy. But until next time, I am Adam.
I am Britt.
And I continue to be Joey.